What a question that's very much on our minds this week is Russia and Russian troops poised on the border of Ukraine. Russia was an area of your specialization as a CIA analyst. You know Russia as well as anybody that I talk to. What's your reading of the situation? What do you think Putin is up to? And do you think an actual Russian move into Ukraine is likely?
I think Putin loves keeping the West and the United States in a state of, to quote from Mel Brooks, high anxiety. And he loves us not knowing what he's going to do next. He loves us getting all ginned up and worrying and making lots of public statements about things where it's not clear what we would do, even if they did act. Whether or not they will move into eastern Ukraine, I think I would be surprised because I think that would have significant consequences for Russia, particularly on the economic side. But I know our military is very concerned about that presence of 100,000 Russian soldiers on the border of eastern Ukraine and the capabilities that they have, and the Afghan army, about half the Afghan army is pretty forward deployed, so about 50,000 people, and
The
and
Ukraine
so
army.
a the Ukrainian army, I'm sorry, and is forward deployed, and a pincher's movement could do some serious damage there. So I think our military is very concerned if Putin did decide to act, what he would be able to do. Um, but I think he also sees this as a way of continuing to uh, gin up nationalism in Ukraine. He points to U.S. and British and other naval activity in the Black Sea, and the U.S. helping Ukraine and so on. And so he uses this at home to try and justify both his repression at home and his behavior toward the West. And whether it's going along with Belarusian leader Lukashenko in terms of creating problems on the Polish border with refugees from Iraq and elsewhere, whether it's pressuring the Baltic states. He, as I said at the outset, he likes to keep the West in a state of high anxiety about what he is trying to do, what he has up his sleeve. At the end of the day, though, he's a classic bully, and we haven't quite figured out how to push back on him and how to make him understand that there are consequences for him as well as for Russia of his aggressive behavior. And so I think the worry about Ukraine is justified. Um, the question is whether he actually pulls the trigger. And frankly, I think a major military move into eastern Ukraine, I would say the odds are against that, but I wouldn't bet a lot of money against it.